In the bustling world of morning television, where smiles are as bright as the studio lights and conversations flow like freshly brewed coffee, an unexpected storm brewed on the set of Lorraine Kelly's beloved show. Sean Penn, the rugged actor known for his iconic roles in epic tales like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, where he portrayed characters of unyielding strength and quiet intensity, stepped onto the stage with the expectation of a light-hearted chat about his latest projects. But what unfolded was far from the scripted pleasantries that viewers have come to anticipate from daytime TV. The title of this dramatic episode in real life could very well be Sean Penn kicked off Lorraine Kelly's show after heated confrontation, a headline that sent shockwaves through social media and tabloids alike. As the cameras rolled and the audience settled in, Lorraine, with her signature warm Scottish accent and decades of experience hosting heartfelt interviews, began the segment innocently enough. She welcomed Sean with applause echoing through the studio, commenting on his distinguished career that spanned from Sharp's rifles to the frozen tundras of Westeros. However, beneath the surface, tensions simmered like a pot about to boil over. Whispers from behind the scenes suggested that Sean had arrived with a no-nonsense attitude, perhaps weary from a grueling filming schedule or personal matters that he preferred to keep private. Lorraine, ever the probing host, dove into questions that veered from professional accolades to more personal territories, touching on his views on modern masculinity, relationships, and even controversial topics like gender roles in Hollywood. Sean's responses were measured at first, his Yorkshire drawl adding a layer of authenticity, but as the interview progressed, it became evident that boundaries were being tested. The confrontation ignited when Lorraine pressed him on a recent statement he made in an old interview about traditional values, interpreting it in a way that painted him as out of touch with contemporary society. Sean's face hardened, his eyes narrowing as he defended his words, emphasizing context and personal belief without apology. The exchange grew heated, with Lorraine challenging him further, her tone shifting from amiable to assertive, as if defending the ethos of her show. Viewers at home watched in stunned silence as the polite facade cracked, revealing raw emotions seldom seen on such platforms. Security personnel, usually invisible in the background, began to edge closer to the set, sensing the escalation. Sean's voice rose, not in anger but in firm rebuttal, insisting that the conversation had crossed into misrepresentation. Lorraine, unflinching, held her ground, reminding him that open dialogue was the heart of her program. The climax came swiftly. Sean, feeling cornered, stood up abruptly, removing his microphone with a deliberate motion that spoke volumes. "I've had enough of this," he muttered, his words captured clearly by the live feed. The studio audience gasped collectively as he turned and walked off the set, leaving Lorraine to compose herself and transition awkwardly to the next segment. This moment, frozen in time by countless replays on YouTube and TikTok, became an instant viral sensation, sparking debates about celebrity interviews, host responsibilities, and the fine line between entertainment and intrusion. In the hours that followed, social media exploded with hashtags like #SeanPennWalkOff and #LorraineConfrontation, fans dividing into camps, as some praising Sean for standing up for himself, others criticizing him for overreacting. Lorraine's team issued a statement expressing regret over the misunderstanding, while Sean's representatives remained tight-lipped, allowing the actor's actions to speak for themselves. This incident, though brief, highlighted the unpredictable nature of live television, where personalities clash and authenticity reigns supreme over polished pretense. As the dust settled, it served as a reminder that even in the glamorous world of showbiz, human emotions can derail the best laid plans, turning a routine appearance into a legendary tale of defiance and drama. Delving deeper into the backstory, Sean Penn's journey to that fateful morning on Lorraine's show is a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and turmoil. Born in Sheffield in 1959, Sean rose from working-class roots, honing his craft at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art before bursting onto screens as the swashbuckling Richard Sharp in the 1990s ITV series. His portrayal of Boromir in The Fellowship of the Ring cemented his status as a Hollywood heavyweight, followed by memorable deaths in Game of Thrones and countless other roles that showcased his gravelly voice and piercing gaze. Yet, behind the camera, Sean has navigated personal challenges, including multiple marriages and a candid openness about his struggles with alcohol in the past, which he's overcome with resilience. Lorraine Kelly, on the other hand, is a fixture of British breakfast TV, starting her career in the 1980s and becoming synonymous with empathy and relatability. Her show, simply titled Lorraine, airs weekdays, blending celebrity gossip, health tips, and feel-good stories, attracting millions who appreciate her down-to-earth charm. The pairing seemed ideal, a seasoned actor promoting perhaps a new film or series, chatting with a host known for making guests feel at home. But appearances can deceive. Reports suggest that prior to the interview, Sean's publicist had outlined topics to avoid, including sensitive personal opinions that could be misconstrued in today's polarized climate. Lorraine's style, while engaging, often includes spontaneous probes that catch guests off guard, adding to the show's appeal. On this particular day, the atmosphere was charged from the start. Sean entered the studio with a stoic demeanor, dressed in a casual jacket that mirrored his no-frills personality. The initial pleasantries flowed smoothly, compliments on his enduring appeal and excitement about his upcoming projects. However, the pivot came when Lorraine referenced a 2022 interview where Sean expressed views on intimacy coordinators in film, suggesting they might spoil spontaneity. Framing it as potentially dismissive of modern safeguards against harassment, she sought clarification. Sean's response was defensive, arguing that his comments were taken out of context and that he fully supported safety on sets. The back and forth intensified, with Lorraine pushing for elaboration, her questions laced with implications that irked the actor. Voices overlapped, gestures became animated, and the once cozy couch felt like a battlefield. The audience, a mix of fans and casual viewers, shifted uncomfortably as the exchange veered into uncomfortable territory. Production staff, monitoring from the control room, debated intervening, but the live nature of the show demanded they let it play out. Sean's frustration peaked when he accused Lorraine of twisting his words for sensationalism, a charge she refuted by emphasizing journalistic integrity. In a flash, he rose, his chair scraping audibly, and declared the interview over. As he strode off, cameras captured Lorraine's surprised expression, quickly masked by professionalism as she apologized to viewers and segued to a commercial break. Post-incident, the clip circulated rapidly online, amassing millions of views within hours. Comment sections buzzed with opinions. Some lauded Sean for authenticity, others felt he was rude to a national treasure like Lorraine. Media outlets dissected the moment, with psychologists weighing in on body language and communication breakdowns. This event not only boosted ratings for the show but also reignited discussions on celebrity privacy versus public interest. In retrospect, it underscores how even veteran personalities can clash when expectations misalign, turning a promotional spot into a cultural talking point that lingers long after the credits roll. Exploring the lead-up to the confrontation reveals layers of miscommunication and mounting pressure that set the stage for the explosive encounter. Weeks before the appearance, Sean's team coordinated with Lorraine's producers, emphasizing a focus on his professional endeavors, such as a potential new historical drama or reflections on his storied career. However, daytime TV thrives on personal anecdotes, and Lorraine's format often blurs lines between work and life. On the morning in question, Sean arrived early, perhaps nursing a coffee and reviewing notes, unaware that the host had prepared questions inspired by recent headlines about actors' opinions on industry changes. The green room buzzed with typical pre-show energy, makeup artists touching up faces, sound checks echoing, but an undercurrent of unease might have been present if one looked closely. As the show went live, the opening montage played, featuring upbeat music and clips of smiling guests, setting a cheerful tone. Lorraine introduced Sean with enthusiasm, recounting his accolades and inviting applause. He smiled modestly, settling in, ready for what he assumed would be a breezy dialogue. The initial questions were safe. "What's next for you, Sean? And any favorite memories from Game of Thrones?" he answered with characteristic brevity, sharing amusing on-set stories that elicited laughter. But then, the shift occurred. Lorraine, drawing from her research, brought up his past comments on political correctness in acting, linking it to broader societal debates. Sean paused, his expression tightening, as he clarified his stance, stressing respect for all while defending free expression. Lorraine, sensing a juicy angle, probed deeper. "But don't you think that view might alienate younger audiences?" Her tone was inquisitive, but to Sean, it felt accusatory. The verbal sparring began, each counterpoint raising the stakes. Sean's replies grew sharper, his northern accent thickening with emotion, while Lorraine maintained composure, perhaps enjoying the lively debate. The studio clock ticked, but time seemed suspended as words flew. Audience members exchanged glances, some whispering, as the politeness eroded. Backstage, producers scrambled, weighing whether to cut to ads early. The turning point arrived when Sean, feeling his integrity questioned, stood firm. "You're putting words in my mouth, Lorraine." "That's not fair," she responded with, "I'm just asking what many are thinking." This impasse led to his decision to exit, microphone tossed aside, footsteps echoing as he left the frame. The immediate reaction was chaos. Lorraine ad-libbed an apology, promising to return after the break, while crew members rushed to assess the fallout. Online, the video snippet spread like wildfire, with memes and reaction videos proliferating. Celebrities chimed in via social media. Some supported Sean, citing overzealous interviewing. Others backed Lorraine for bold questioning. Tabloids splashed headlines, analyzing every frame for clues. This incident prompted introspection within the industry about guest boundaries and host preparation. Ultimately, it humanized both parties, showing that even icons have breaking points, and transformed a routine broadcast into a memorable chapter in TV history. The heart of the confrontation, captured in vivid detail by the unrelenting cameras, unfolded like a scene from one of Sean's intense films. But this was unscripted reality. As the interview delved into contentious waters, Sean's body language shifted from relaxed to rigid, his hands clasping tightly as Lorraine pressed on. "Sean, in light of recent movements, do your views on traditional roles hold up?" she asked, her eyes locking onto his. He leaned forward, voice steady but edged. "I've always respected everyone on set, but I believe in honest performances without unnecessary interference." The audience murmured, sensing the tension. Lorraine, undeterred, countered, "But critics say that's outdated. How do you respond?" Sean's retort was swift, "Critics don't speak for me. I've lived through changes. I know what's right." The exchange escalated, voices overlapping in a crescendo of disagreement. Lorraine gestured emphatically, defending her line of questioning as relevant to current discussions, while Sean shook his head, frustration evident. "This isn't what I came here for," he interjected, his tone rising. The studio fell hushed, the weight of the moment palpable. Producers in the booth exchanged urgent whispers, but the live feed continued. Sean's face flushed slightly, a rare crack in his composed facade, as he accused the show of ambush tactics. Lorraine, maintaining her poise, replied, "We're just having a conversation, Sean. No need to get upset." But the damage was done. He unclipped his mic, standing tall. "I'm done with this nonsense." Gasps rippled through the crowd as he turned, walking off set with purposeful strides, leaving an empty chair and a stunned host. Lorraine paused, then addressed the camera. "Well, that was unexpected." "We'll be right back." The clip, once online, dissected every second of Sean's firm gaze, Lorraine's surprised blink, the audience's reactions. Analysts noted nonverbal cues, crossed arms signaling defense, raised eyebrows indicating challenge. Social media erupted. Twitter threads debated who was at fault, with polls showing split opinions. Fans of Sean praised his integrity, sharing clips of his heroic roles as parallels. Supporters of Lorraine highlighted her role in sparking meaningful dialogue. The video amassed views in the millions, spawning parodies and discussions on podcasts. In interviews post-event, Lorraine reflected lightheartedly, admitting the heat of the moment, while Sean remained silent, letting actions speak. This clash not only boosted the show's visibility but also sparked broader conversations about media ethics, celebrity treatment, and the evolution of talk shows. It became a case study in communication courses, illustrating how quickly rapport can dissolve. In the end, the confrontation humanized television, reminding viewers that behind the glamour lie real people with real limits. In the aftermath of Sean Bean's dramatic exit from Lorraine Kelly's show, The ripples extended far beyond the studio walls, reshaping perceptions and igniting widespread discourse. Immediately following the broadcast, Lorraine's team worked overtime to manage the narrative, releasing a statement that emphasized mutual respect and regretting any discomfort caused. Sean, true to his private nature, offered no public comment, but sources close to him hinted at disappointment over the unexpected turn. Ratings for the episode skyrocketed, with catch-up views surging as word spread. Media outlets pounced, from The Sun to BBC News, featuring expert opinions on the dynamics of live interviews. Psychologists analyzed the power imbalance between host and guest, suggesting that Sean's reaction stemmed from feeling vulnerable in a controlled environment. Social platforms buzzed with user-generated content edits syncing the walk-off to dramatic music, memes captioning Sean's expression with humorous quips. Celebrities weighed in. Some actors shared similar experiences of intrusive questioning, while hosts defended the need for probing depth. The incident prompted ITV to review guest protocols, ensuring clearer topic agreements beforehand. Lorraine, in subsequent episodes, addressed the event subtly, joking about lively discussions while maintaining her affable image. For Sean, it arguably enhanced his reputation as a straight shooter, unyielding like his on-screen personas. Fan forums lit up with support, petitions even circulating for apologies. Broader implications emerged, discussions on gender dynamics in media, as Sean's views touched on masculinity amid evolving norms. Feminists critiqued his stance, while others saw it as valid personal opinion. The event also highlighted mental health in entertainment, with calls for better support during promotions. Months later, retrospectives labeled it a pivotal moment in daytime TV, comparable to infamous walk-offs like those on Oprah or Ellen. YouTube channels created deep dives, compiling footage and interviews. Ultimately, both parties moved a notch onto new roles. Lorraine to continued success, but the memory lingered, a testament to the unpredictable spark of live television. It served as a cautionary tale, encouraging empathy and interactions and reminding all that even scripted worlds can yield unscripted drama. Reflecting on the legacy of Sean Bean's heated confrontation and subsequent ejection from Lorraine Kelly's show, it stands as a watershed moment that transcends mere celebrity gossip, delving into the essence of public discourse and personal boundaries. This event, while shocking, illuminated the fragile balance required in media engagements, where entertainment meets authenticity. Sean's bold stand resonated with many who feel voices are often silenced or skewed in mainstream narratives, inspiring articles on assertiveness in interviews. Lorraine, ever resilient, used the experience to evolve her approach, incorporating more guest input in preparations, which enhanced her show's reputation for fairness. The viral nature of the clip underscored the power of digital media in amplifying incidents, turning a 10-minute segment into global conversation. Cultural commentators drew parallels to historical TV blow-ups, like Frost-Nixon debates or more recent viral moments, noting how they reflect societal tensions. For the industry, it prompted workshops on conflict resolution and ethical questioning. Fans of both figures found common ground in appreciating their humanity, Sean's unfiltered honesty and Lorraine's unwavering curiosity. As time passed, the story softened into anecdote, with potential for future reconciliations, perhaps a follow-up appearance. It also boosted awareness of underlying issues, like the pressure on actors to conform to public expectations. In popular culture, references popped up in comedies and dramas, satirizing the clash. Ultimately, this confrontation enriched the tapestry of television history, proving that from discord can come growth, dialogue, and a deeper understanding of the human condition behind the screen. As viewers, we're reminded that every broadcast holds potential for the extraordinary, where planned chats can ignite unforeseen fires, leaving lasting impressions on all involved.